Welcome to the Cincinnati Bengals Weekly Show on the Grueling Truth Sports Network. I am your host for the Cincinnati Bengals Weekly Show, Mike Goodpasser. Right now, I'd like to welcome in my co-host, as always, number 58, played for the Bengals in Super Bowl 23. For you young folks out there, yeah, the Bengals used to win playoff games. Help me welcome to the show, Joe Kelly. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great, man. Mike, it's another year, new year, man, and new hope for Bengal Nation. We have Big Joe back in the saddle. But I still think there's some question marks. But overall, the future of the team looks a lot better.
Yeah,
Um,
I think the biggest question mark is Joe Burrow. And we saw Carson Palmer when he came back from his knee injury, looked like, he wasn't real comfortable in the pocket. And from what I've heard training camp wise, a little bit of that may exist with Burrow too, which I think is human nature. It's just according how long
yeah,
it takes to get out of that.
yeah. I mean, it is human nature. I mean, it wasn't. He didn't have a sprained ACL. He had a major knee injury. The good thing, he's young. You got young bones, you got young ligaments. The doctor did a great job, but he's still is going to be in the back of his mind. When he takes a hit, if he has to scramble, if he has to move up into the pocket, I think initially, that will still be in the back of his mind. I think this offensive line that we have now is night and day better than the garbage that we've had for last 3-4 years. But hopefully that our offensive line can give the kid some time, and it's a progression. It's going to take 3-4 games for him to get back and feel comfortable and be the confident guy he was last year.
Yeah, I would say this Minnesota game, is huge. And if we look back at you guys' Super Bowl run, the 1981 Bengals, they both came up and were led by the defense in the first games. In 1981, the Bengals were down 21-0 to Seattle, came back and won 27-21. You guys had a couple goal line stands against the Cardinals. I think it was the Phoenix Cardinals at the time, back in
Phoenix,
1988.
yeah.
And I think when I look at the schedule, it's a tough schedule. They need to win this first game at home.
I think so too. You're at home. You definitely would have the momentum. You've seen the last preseason. Joe just ran on the field for those 3 plays. The crowd went crazy. Just ecstatic to see this young guy battle back and bounce back and get back in the saddle. But like you said here, this is a tone setter. Watched a little bit of the game last night. And it's about coming out and setting the tone. Not only are you going to set the tone for that Minnesota game, but you're going to set the tone for, the season. So if you come out, and the defense flies around, they smack people in the mouth, offense moves the ball, we're able to utilize, the 3 receivers that we have. There's a lot of questions and with Chase. So, he's going to have to perform. But if they can come out, Mike, and an offense can move the ball and the defense can make some stops, Zimmer's a great coach. Minnesota's going to be prepared, and we're going to have to play 60 minutes and, come out and get that crowd behind you and try the best way to get a victory.
Yeah, and I think the game's won in the trenches. I think the big thing for the Bengals is to always know where Harrison Smith is. He just signed a 4-year, $64 million extension. Smith's a dynamic player in both the ground and the passing game. I think he'll be a little extra motivated because of the early contract, the new contract that he got. And I think Zimmer will send Smith on a ton of weak side blitzes. He's going to be a handful here. He's probably outside of Jesse Bates. I think Harrison Smith's the best defensive player in this game.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's a playmaker. He's a playmaker. But this is the NFL, man. One guy's not going to be the team. He's going to make the play.
Hey, unless Lawrence Taylor shows up, Joe, he could beat a team.
You got that guy. You got everybody else. I had a front row seat and witness to what he could do. I'm not going to put that guy on that level. But he is a player. He's a dynamic player. Zimmer's the kind of coach. very rarely you're gonna see a Minnesota team that's not prepared. He's going to be prepared in all three facets of the game. They're going to come here ready. They're going to come here knowing that Joe Burrow is going to start. That crowd is going to get behind him. So he's going to come out and say, "Hey, let's get this crowd and keep this crowd quiet. Defense, let's set the tone. Get Joe on his heels. So if they can get sustain a pass rush against us and they smash us in the mouth early, I think we would be looking possibly at a long day. So it's going to be, who comes out and sets the tone, who plays well in all three facets of the game. That's going to come out with a win.
Yeah, and I think the defensive line for the Bengals is huge here. You lost, Carlos Dunlap, Geno Adkins, Carl Lawson. They get replaced by Trey Hendrickson, Larry Ogunjobi. And, I mean, those guys can make a big difference. You get the return of DJ Reader, but Dalvin Cook is on the other side of the field for the Vikings. I think he's one of the 2 or 3 best running backs in football. They've got to be able to control him. They've got to at least be able to contain him to like 100 yards. Because my biggest worry is this Bengals run defense isn't any better, and they just control the game with Dalvin Cook, and he runs for 200 yards.
Well, Mike, I think this defensive line is going to be better than last year. I
think they're definitely deeper.
They're deeper. I couldn't tell you what he was trying to do, what he was trying to accomplish as a defense last year, but I think just the small spurts of seeing the first string D line out there in preseason. I think it's going to be a more physical defense. It looks like they're attacking a little bit more. I think our defensive backs are night and day from last year. But like you said, our run game is going to hit our weak spot. Our weak spot, in my opinion, is our linebackers. And with Dalvin Cook, like you said, being the top 3 backs in the NFL, they're going to get out and try to get some mismatches. They're going to try to run the ball. They're going to hit him on some screens. They're going to get him out of the backfield. Him with a one-on-one with any linebacker that we have is a win for Minnesota.
Yeah, but that's almost any linebacker in the NFL against Dalvin Cook one-on-one.
Yeah, especially ours. I like those linebackers at Tampa. If they play Tampa, I like those guys match up. So, we obviously we don't have the caliber of linebackers that those two interior linebackers in Tampa. But I think overall our defense should be better. And we're going to have to play sound. Sam Hubbard just got a huge contract, and hopefully, he's at home, a hometown kid. You got a nice contract. Hendrickson he has a nice contract. So, hopefully those guys can, light their hair on fire, man, and get after that quarterback.
Yeah, I think the big thing here is we know what T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd can do. The question will be Jamar Chase. How much do you worry about the issues he had in the preseason?
Well, people can say what they want to say, and he can say what he want to say, dropping balls, it's preseason, it's practice. No, this game is here, because guess what? Everybody is big, man. Everybody's fast. Everybody's strong. Every guy that came in college that start was the baddest mother bleep bleep from their school. So you're playing against the best. This guy, you can come in when you come to the NFL, you have to elevate your game mentally. Most guys have the physical skill set to do that. Obviously, he has the physical skill set to do that. But it's right here because he's dropping balls in practice, and this has been an ongoing problem. He's dropping balls in the game. So 1,000% Sunday is not going to change. It's going to be a progression. He's going to have to come up here, and get his mind, in a better mindset, because it becomes mental. Here, you come in and you're doing things, you're making mistakes, and now you're overthinking and you're over concentrating, and you want to make a big play because you dropped the ball. So in my opinion, a guy like that, he's in his head, and this guy was a 5th pick, so this guy has to come out and be have numbers. I can say he's going to be Jerry Rice, but if he doesn't come out and be, Ocho Cinco, Chris Collinsworth, Isaac Curtis type, he's a fifth pick. It's gonna start roll on him. The media's gonna get on him. The fans are gonna get on him. So he has to perform. He can't. Unfortunately, being a fifth pick, I was 11th pick. You don't have a lot of time to screw up. Before people start calling you a wasted pick, so on and so forth. So he has to come out and mentally be better prepared.
Now, the one place I think the Bengals have a huge advantage is if Jamar Chase is good, and you've got Higgins and Boyd, Uzama, Auden Tate. Joe Burrow should have a field day against this Vikings secondary, because despite the changes they've made in the secondary, it's still going to take a little time for them to adjust. I think the Bengals can score a lot of points through the air in this game.
I mean, you look at what we have, and you add just the thought of adding a Jamar Chase to our two receivers. Healthy Joe Mixon. I think the kid from Michigan is going to be able to take over a Geo spot, and third down and come out of the backfield. He showed a lot. He showed a lot in preseason. With our tight ends, I think we have weapons, and if these guys can come out and chase, if Chase can elevate his game the way Boyd and Higgins have, it's a three-headed monster, and it's gonna be tough for any defense to stop us.
Yeah, I think the bad thing for Chase is John Ross, because everybody has John Ross in their mind where he had difficulties catching the ball. And I think that makes this even a bigger spotlight on him, because the Bengals, let's face it, their last 5 years draft picks outside of Joe Burrow, which was a no-brainer, have not worked out real well.
Yeah. Well, here you're looking at, because you're taking a risk, because you got to understand, this kid did not play football last year. So it's been 2 years, and there's only so many Lawrence Taylors and Reggie Whites. The rest of us, we're good athletes, work hard, study hard, got some talent. But it's a level playing field when you get up to this level, because he's now facing he's not facing this is not SEC cornerbacks. These are professional men that he's playing against. So he's going to have to elevate his game. He's going to have to mentally stay in it. Even he's going to. I guarantee you, he's going to drop a ball, but he's going to have to drop a ball, make a big play. You see, CeeDee Lamb last night dropped a couple balls, but he came back, made some great plays, and that's what he's going to have to do. I mean, this is you can't dwell on bad plays, but drop balls. Because you got another play. Let's go next play. Let's go next series. And he's going to have to get in that mindset and become professional enough to let that previous play go and perform. Because as far as an athlete, if you see, when we see what he did with LSU and Joe Burrows, the kid was unstoppable. And there's no reason, talent-wise, that he shouldn't be able to raise his game and do some big things here in the NFL.
Yeah, you look at these Bengals draft picks, since 2014, Darqueze Dennard, Cedric Ogbuehi, William Jackson, who was a good player, John Ross, Billy Price. I mean, at least Billy Price is gone now.
Well, at least they got something for him,
Yeah, I think they actually got something for him, but that guy's not going to be worth the first pick in the draft, which he ended up being. All right, Bengals win this game or not, Joe?
I'm going to say yes, man. I'm going to say opening day, Joe Burrows. I think Joe Burrows is the X factor. He's going to come in, and I think if we can get some momentum, give him a little time. There's no doubt. I think we'll win by a couple of touchdowns. We're going to have the fans. The fans are going to be nuts. Joe Burrows is in there. Revamped offensive line. Entirely. New defensive front, our defensive backs are revamped. So here, if our linebackers, if they can just do their job, make a play here and there. You got to make a lot of plays. I think he's going to put the onus on the D line. He's going to put the onus on those defensive ends, those high-paid defensive ends that we have, to come out and make some plays, fly around, make some plays. move the quarterback pocket, and give our offense more opportunities to score. So I really think that here, we can be in a really good position to come out with a victory opening day.
My worry is this. If this was week 5, I would agree with you. I just don't know if Joe Burrow coming off that injury is going to be completely in stride right away. My big concern is Dalvin Cook running for 200 yards, which then sets up Kirk Cousins, who I think he's an above average quarterback. He's better than above average when you get the play action going with him, though. You got Justin Jefferson over there. I'm not a big fan of the Bengals corners. I don't think they're any worse than last year because I don't think they were very good last year either. Hopefully Eli Apple will develop into what the Giants would always thought he would be, but he never did. But I'm going to do this, Joe, since I think I always pick against the Bengals. I'm going to try to be positive, and I'm going to say the Bengals win this game 35-31. I think it'll be a shootout. I think if they win it, it's going to be a shootout because this isn't so much a shot at the Bengals' run defense as I just think Dalvin Cook's that damn good. The run defense could be better and still get gashed for 150 yards here because Dalvin Cook is that good.
Yeah, he's gonna take advantage of here you overrun the play, you don't stay backside,
and that's what worries me, Joe. The Bengals never stay backside.
Yeah, so it's you're gonna have to play disciplined defense when you go up against a guy of his caliber. I'm not gonna put him with Barry Sanders yet, but he's Barry Sanders like, and we're gonna have to play disciplined defense. And stay in our gaps, and make him stay the front side. If we can make him stay front side and close out those backside gaps, I think we can
keep them to 100. If we keep them to 100, I think we're in good shape. AFC North this year, who do you think wins it?
You know what? As much as I don't want to say, I'm saying those Brownies, man. I'm looking at the Brownies, and I'm also looking at I would the Ravens would be there, but the Ravens they're getting hammered, man. They're top 2 running backs, and now Peters, all of them are out for the season, so they had a horrific week, and that's gonna it's a huge impact. On their entire season. They signed Le'Veon Bell, but I think Le'Veon Bell sitting out that year.
How about this, Joe? With Le'Veon Bell, I don't think the way he runs is conducive to the way Baltimore wants to run the football. I mean, Baltimore is more of a punch you in the mouth team. Le'Veon Bell wants to go to line of scrimmage and look for things. I think losing Orlando Brown was big. They lost 2 of their best defensive players. I think they're probably still a wild card team, but I agree with you. I think the Browns damn near run away with this division.
I mean, I think they are. I think when you look at it, I'm thinking I can't see more than two teams in our division to come out of here in the playoffs, because I think when you look around the other divisions. I think some teams are, just as good as if they come out and get a little momentum. We'll definitely, you're definitely looking at a 10-6 to maybe get in the playoffs, and that's I'm gonna have to see how we play, Sunday before I even think that we're remotely going to be a 10-6 team. I don't see us as a 10-6 team. I think we're capable of being a 10-6 team.
Hey Joe, now it'd be 10-7. Remember, there's 17 games.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
can't finish 500 anymore unless you get a tie. I think this. I think with the schedule, I think the over/under on Bengals wins should probably be 5 or 6. I don't see more than 5 wins. I think this will be a better team. But I mean, you're probably losing 4 division games right there. Maybe you split with Pittsburgh. So that's 1-5 in a division. I don't see much better than that. Pittsburgh, you still got Minka Fitzpatrick, TJ White. The defense is still going to be good. I think the question there is, what's Big Ben have left?
Yeah, and their offensive line. You know, you look at
Yeah.
Pittsburgh offensive line. It's you know, it's entirely different new offensive line. You know, and Big Ben is not the most mobile guy anyway. But you know, I don't know, man. Pittsburgh, they select well when it comes to offensive linemen. You know, these guys, some guys you don't hear about, and these guys come in and you know they're always in the top offensive rushing and passing. You know, they get guys just like their
They get
linebackers, their
guys and they
inside
coach them,
linebackers.
Joe.
What's that?
They get guys and they coach them.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, you see, here because they lose guys. They lose, how many times they've lost their top linebacker, and boom, here's this next guy. And
Yeah.
you're like, well, where did he come from? You know, and it's drafting. You know, those guys is drafting. You know, football players that are come there and then they're coached well, and you know, I know you and I agree on what we think of the Bengal coaching staff and what they bring. And I don't, I don't think they're capable of getting the best out of the talent that we have. I think if we had a better coaching staff, more experienced coaching staff, we would perform better. You know,
I
that's what
think
it is.
this. I think with a better coaching staff, this team could make a run at maybe 8 or 9 wins and possibly grab a wild card.
Mhm. It's. I mean, I seen some really good things from the first team defense. It wasn't a lot, it wasn't 60 minutes, but I see, it's about, I know coming into the season we went to the Super Bowl, Mike. We came out of 87 was terrible. It was we came back with pretty much the same players, but it was a swag about it, man. We knew what kind of team we had. Sam knew, Dick LeBeau knew, and it was that. You look at it wasn't a totally revamped team from 87 to 88. It's coming out, and we still had some great players. Great offensive line, but it was still coming out and being confident. Coming out, the first game against Arizona and setting the tone, and getting some wins under our belt right away.
Yeah, the Philadelphia game is the one that got my attention. That's when I thought things were different because that Eagles team was really good. Randall
Yeah,
Cunningham, Reggie White, and
that
you
D
go to
line.
Philadelphia and beat them 28-24. To
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
that was the game that told
yeah,
me this team's really good. It was like in
yeah.
1981.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to believe the Bengals. They go 2-0, 3-0, but then they lose to the Browns at home. But the game that really told me that team was good would have been 1981 when they beat the Buffalo Bills in overtime because that Bills team with Joe Ferguson, Joe Cribbs was a
Mm-hmm.
really good football team.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that Eagles game is the one that stands out to me.
yeah, yeah. I mean, because you look that was, I could imagine being linebacker. Seth Joyner, and those guys, they should thank those guys for the kind of career that they had. I could imagine playing behind Reggie, Clyde, Jerome Brown. What's the other defensive tackle? Mike Golick.
Yeah.
Uh, come on, man. Man, you got a double. You got a double
Mike
team.
Golick was the bad one.
Yeah, Jerome Brown, you could not single block him. You definitely wasn't single blocking Reggie.
Reggie White.
You
Yeah.
know, so that yeah. So here, of course, I don't. We're nowhere near that over here in Bengal Nation. But it's
Yeah, but it's better talking about 1988 than it is present day, anyways, Joe.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I know it's definitely gonna be better than last year. Definitely, I don't have any dreams and fantasies of us going to the Super Bowl. We're not there, especially not with this coaching staff. We're not even remotely thinking about that. And I think we have to get tougher. You have to be tougher. You gotta learn how to smash some people in the mouth. It's still football, and you can still bring the wood, and I don't I want to see if our guys, I like our safeties, and like you said, our corners. The jury is still out. I think they're better than last year. But it's about coming out, setting the tone, flying around, having some fun. And getting, just get one. All you got to do is get the game right here. Can't worry about next week. You got to get the one right in front of you. And if you can go, game by game, and it's just the NFL, man. You never know.
Yeah.
There's going to be a surprise. It's going to be a surprise team. It always is. So and that's the team that comes out and gets a little momentum, flies around, and start having get some confidence, and next thing they're there. I think when you're looking at the Indianapolis Colts, I think they're a sleeper team. If the quarterback position, if Wentz comes back, they got the
But we all know Wentz ain't playing 17 games anyways. Yeah, they couldn't play 16.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what team pops out this year and is up there contending to getting that playoff run.
I'll tell you though, it's scary to watch Tom Brady play, and he never gets old.
Man, did you see that last night?
I saw a little bit of it. I saw the very end of it, and I saw the start. But the dude looks like he's still 25 years old.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good game. That was a good game. Both defenses, Via from UW, the defensive tackle from Tampa was a
Vita Vea.
Yeah, was a man child, destroying that shit, and that's a pretty good sitter at Dallas, oh man, he was bringing it to him. You seen some good football. Obviously, I was excited for Dak Prescott as well. He looked well coming back, looked confident. But Brady, you gave Brady the ball last.
You can't give Brady the ball last.
You gave him the ball last.
The only way you beat Brady when you get in the ball last is if the right guard screws up, they blitz and sack him, and he's not looking, and he fumbles the ball. That's how the Philadelphia Eagles beat him in the Super Bowl. Any other way, he's going to beat your ass. All right, I know you got to head to Ann Arbor to watch your Washington Huskies, who come off we're not even going to talk about last week's Washington game.
We're not even going to talk about my Huskies, man. But you know what, Mike? I'm still going to wear my purple and gold proud, get on the road, head to Ann Arbor, meet up with some friends. I got one of my ex-teammates, Andre Hayes, just came in town this morning. So him, his son, and I, we're going to get on the road, man. We got our purple and gold, and, we're going to – you never know. You never know. I'm not expecting a lot. I think I'm coming up, going up there, Mike, with a little less bravado than I was. We talked about before the season. Hey, we wouldn't even think about Montana. We'll go up there and give the Michigan fans.
That was the issue. Neither was the team. They weren't thinking about Montana either.
Yeah.
And that was Montana's season right there. Hell, they'll talk about that for 50 years.
Yeah, 50 years. That's not in the season. That's a program changer. That's a program. You get you can come to Washington. We beat Washington. You can get a recruit here and there, and it's just awful for the program. But, that definitely has to go down as a worst loss. But I think you can bounce back because, my senior year, coming back, I was hurt and coming back. And unfortunately, I was on that team that lost to Oregon State. We were 31-point favorites. That was the year, first time University of Washington had ever beat all of the California schools, and Oregon State came to us on homecoming, and we lost 31-point favorites. So that was probably the third, second or third worst loss in Husky history. So I get it. It wasn't a Montana. It wasn't a Pac-10 team, but still was a monumental upset, and they just got to come in a different mindset. Doesn't mean that didn't. The talent is still there.
Hey, y'all still won the Freedom Bowl that year, Joe. What the hell?
Yeah. We won Freedom Bowl. We beat all the California, beat SC, beat UCLA, Stanford. Cal. So that was the first time that UW had ever done that. So hey, all's not lost in war. So we'll see if we have a little miracle thing that we can pull out up there in the big house.
All right, Joe. We'll have a good time. Be safe. We will be back next week. Make sure you follow us at Grueling Truth. Make sure you go check out the Facebook page. You can find us on Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, wherever you find podcasts, you'll find the Grueling Truth. So for now, for Joe Kelly, I'm Mike Goodpastor. You've been watching and listening to the Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.